this event, and that is, not the best situation to be in, and pistol rounds can be so impactful. And not as much as they used to, of course. It used to be a guaranteed 3-0 winning the pistol back in the day. Not these days. Meta has changed, and it's been this way for a couple of years now. And we're going to get into Mirage to see if FIEND can stay alive. A reminder for everyone joining. FIEND need to win this entire best of 3 to guarantee their place in the major. G2 already are in the major, but if they win, they confirm FaZe's slot in the major. Pistol round underway, some utility for Amanek, and for the Red Star and Bubble on FIEND as well. Let's get us underway.
Just to be the set piece out to the A site, very retake heavy considering the amount of players that are over to B. So for Nexa, not even thinking about taking some jewels out towards Ticket. Instead, fall back and just get players in rotation.
We've seen this a lot from G2, haven't we? And a lot from CT sides in general, I feel like, over this tournament and in the past few weeks or so. Playing 5v5 retake on the CT pistol rounds because Glocks are so powerful close up. I like the idea. I think it works better than actually holding the sites itself. They're now primed towards CT. They're going to have a flash, and they're going to try and do some damage. Han gets one. There's Nico, though. Hunter's here in support as well. They'll try and jump back away from this CT hold. Jack still has the smoke and the defuse kit. All 4 players coming in through CT. Nexa gets one, but there's Han and Dreamer. They respond with 2 of their own, and even another one as well. Nex is now last alive. He'll get pinched from 2 different angles, and Han will make it happen with 4 kills to start off the pistol. Very, very nice start for FIEND.
Yeah, just a well-taken A site. A lot of respect being given up with that retake-heavy setup, and you could even see the way that G2 anticipate that they're going to be attacking CT and trying to take further map control. They all play anti-flash, turn away from it, and then it's just the way they're able to bait them forward. Han playing out from the bench and triple position just gets away with so many kills with that Glock. And for FIEND, that's what they were looking for, that pistol round win.
Yeah, finally they've got one. I mean, it might not advance them up the pistol round win list much, but it all counts, and he gets them the opening round on this second map, sorry. And they're going up against the force by now of G2. Jax on a Deagle. There's a Deagle on Nico as well, as you would expect. Next on the MP9. Amanek on the Scout. And they're already walking toward B with a possibility of going for a take here. There is only, technically, one player here, and that is Jax, and he's still towards short. So they're choosing correctly, FIEND.
It all comes down to how much damage can be done on the initial contact. Very silent from FIEND, and now they can just start running through. The attention going to be drawn over from Jax. The Deagle struggling to get the pick. Does get there in the end, so man advantage gets turned into 2.
Jax on the Deagle. We've seen him defending on this site already with the Deagle. And they're going to try and pounce on it. Nico looking for damage. Oh, it's Amanek actually to take Dreamer in the end. It looks like it was Nico's. But the Scout is now in the action. And he'll even take Bubble in apartments as well. It's all down to Han, the hero of the pistol round in a 1 versus 5. And he'll even get caught in the back by Nico. Goodness me. I mean, G2 on Deagles. Nico, Jax. What can you do about that? Absolutely nothing.
That's a round where you have to sit there and just go fair play. Do you know what I mean? You have a look at it from FIEND's perspective and just go, they hit their shots. I mean, my goodness, what a fadeaway that was from Jax out from the short position. Struggled with the first. That second kill was everything, and just the individuals really showing up. Have a look at this again. Jax with the start, jeez, that kill onto Red Star just sets it up. And even for Amanek to get 2 kills with the Scout, allow Nico to do his own thing. FIEND, they're going to buy up again, knowing they got the bomb down. The problem is they've only got 2 AKs.
That was dirty from Jax. I mean, at the end of the day, maybe Victor will look back on it and say, oh, okay, I took quite a long time with that duel. I know it's a Mach 10 at mid to long range, but still, if he gets that frag, Jax isn't allowed to get the second, and that might mean Nico and Amanek can't be activated either. So it's a shame for FIEND, but at the end of the day, G2 hit their shots, and you have to say, okay, you owned me. GG, nice shot. And go to the next one. As you mentioned, 2 AK-47s against the, technically, 2 AK-47s as well for G2. Recovered from that T side, even Hunter on the Galil. They've really harvested everything, haven't they, G2? Even Nexa on the Mach 10, not wanting to buy anything else. That is very handy going forward.
Jeez, just the gap in the defense being exploited completely. Hunter spotting the first player out from underpass. Having some trigger discipline in case there is any more. Could even be a knife to come in, get some extra money. Hunter's going to wait. I actually like this. He could actually turn this into a couple of kills.
Oh, this is beautiful from Hunter. Playing the trigger discipline. Oh, he's going to wait for the second to go past, though. Did he see Red Star? That's going to be a hard one to tell. I'm not sure he'll get that one, but now Red Star's gone, and he's like, hello, there was a player there. Where did he come from? That is remarkable. He's going to be confused about that one, and I think Han's going to be just as confused, if not more. Hunter, I can't believe he misses that second player. That timing is unreal. But he will at least get the 1 kill and manage to fall away with the 5v4 in quite unorthodox fashion.
Yeah, ridiculous. Hard will have absolutely no idea how that's possible, and just look at how many bodies there are on this A side. G2 have brought pretty much everyone here.
Victor's out with the deagle, but he's already being forced around by that Molotov. Jax gets a headshot of his own, trading Red Star, getting that 1 kill back in return. And there's actually Dreamer taking next to as well, but Jax is still here. Second kill for him, looking for more, gets the third, looking for the fourth. Oh, it's so close, but Bubble's trying to spam away with that deagle. He does manage to cross the default, but I don't think he'll be able to get this bomb planted. 6 seconds to go. He's going to be jumped on surely by Jackson. Actually, they give him a bit of respect. So he will get the bomb planted, but easily spotted by Nico. Sitting on the bench on the edge of the site there, and that allows you to see over the top of the default position and grab a head. And he'll do just that. 2-1 G2.
Now, if Fiend want to be cheeky, they can think about forcing again, or at least having a hero rifle go into the second round. It all just comes down to how much level of investment do they really want to bring forward. They didn't really do a lot of economical damage to G2. Hunter just with the greatest and worst timing, right? Yeah, he didn't see him at all. So he's in a good timing that he's able to deal with Han. It's just the worst timing that he's not able to see Red Star too.
Yeah, 4x3. Stick that in chat right now. That has to be what it was because, you know, I mean, he is flicking around in the time. So, you know, maybe he's focused on the left-hand side of his screen. Maybe if he has a chance to see him, it's you know, you never really know for sure. It can be something maybe we can find out after the game perhaps. But luckily, it didn't really change the round outcome. So it's not crucial. It's not like it was 15-14 or something. So no big deal in the end. And that forces Fiend down 2 pistols. 4 deagles, only 1 set of Kevlar and Han, and he's only got the PT50, so it should be a G2 3-1.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine so. And I can only imagine Copenhagen Flames will be keeping their eyes on in this game because they'll be playing the loser of Fiend and G2. And there's actually quite a bit of rivalry between Fiend and the Copenhagen Flames side. Even when it came to the closed qualifier, it was Fiend versus Copenhagen Flames to see who was going to make it into the event in the first round.
Yeah, and depending on how results go, if I'm not mistaken, that game, if Fiend do go on to lose, and as Nexa finds Bubble there very nicely, if Fiend do go on to lose, then I think there's probably a pretty significant chance that Fiend versus Copenhagen Flames will basically decide a spot at the major. Now, wouldn't that be incredible?
For sure.
Yeah, I do believe that is how the results will go. So, that's for tomorrow. This is for now. G2 will get a nice 3-1 lead with some nice anti-eco frags there from Nico. But yeah, I mean, everything's still up to play for. It's not decided today. It's just decided which bracket you go into, And 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th can make a difference for everyone.
That's what's great about these RMRs is that you don't just get knocked out of the quarterfinals and go, right, 5th to 8th for everyone. No, we've got to know exactly what every single team is going to place. And get all those points allocated for. Amanek thinking about an aggressive peek in from Connector. Does miss the timing of Bubble, getting very close to the bottom of Con Smoke.
Yeah, that is a tight one because Amanek is directly above him with that AWP. He had a rough nuke, did Amanek, but it looks like he might be pounced on by Bubble. All we know is his timings. Is he going to go through this Con Smoke? Is he going to catch up Amanek towards stairs? I think he might do. There's the frag. Hunter gets Victor in the meantime, though, so it's still 4v4. But they're going to pounce toward B. Hunter's done great work, though. That is an incredible hold. 3 kills from him. Now Nico's here to help out, as you would expect. And out of nowhere, G2 have absolutely cleaned up the play. Bubble in a 1v4.
That's very unfortunate because you've got the in-game leader of Bubble that gets a great timing, opens up space, gets a pick in from Con. They're going for the B exec and they just can't get entries, can they? Amanek was the one that got dropped by Bubble. Everyone else, Red Star, Dreamer, Han, Victor, not finding any picks on that fly out from the apartments. And Bubble's now thinking to himself, well, this doesn't look that likely. Might just try and see if he can hold on to that AK. G2 extending their lead even further. And this is now going to make it 4 rounds in a row for the international squad.
Yep, Bubble. Just looking to do some damage at this stage. I mean, the economy's already been built up pretty nicely. It's only 3 rounds in a row for G2, but I mean, Jackson's on 7.6 already. So it's with 4 players alive again. It'll increase it even further. Bubble really just a matter of time before he bursts and has to go into the next round. And with 20 seconds to go, basically an entry from Palace is all he can really hope for. If he manages to take down Nexa, who is the nearest player toward A, and there is actually a chance he could get the bomb planted, but little does he know that. He's actually deciding just to save the AK-47. And with 10 seconds to go, he will keep it into the next round. That is, he got spooked by something there, I think, but all good. He should be able to save it fine.
Now, Fiend are one of the only teams in this RMR that actually don't have a coach. We know that like a couple of teams, for example, Copenhagen Flames, Pitter's their coach, but he's not able to participate in the RMRs. They had Voiberg, I believe his name is, who's like the co-owner and a position in the company, not quite a coach, who's just getting behind them and trying to hype them up. FIEND don't have anyone. So they've got their manager, the Polish manager who used to manage Wisla Krakow, is getting behind them. So I guess trying to hype the lads up when possible. But yeah, no mind in terms of a coach role for FIEND.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of thing that possibly can come back to bite you at the end of the day. You know, just an extra idea, so, you know, a reassuring hand on the back, maybe. Of course, it's LAN, so it's not just online. It's not just a voice in your ear. It's a pat on the back as well. And of course, they are getting that. But still, it's that extra voice that they may be missing, especially on the T sides of maps. And, you know, when you're up against G2, and it maybe not sometimes, not even brains will get you a victory because you can just be out-aimed at every given opportunity if they're on fire. And already Nico up to 7-1 scoreline. Everyone doing great on G2 so far. And already it's going to be a tough situation for FIEND. They have a bit of an execute coming in though with the pistols. Let's see what they can do with it.
Next are very up close and personal. Might even try and take this first engagement onto Bubble. The AK's got a strike. Great resmoke. Even a HE forward. They don't know that Nex is here. Struggling. Oh, gets the support in from his teammates. Dreamer gets one pick onto Nico. Nex is trying to do more. And Emanek just keeps stealing the kills away from him. Dreamer on that lurkout from Palace, the last one left. Just hoping for any more continued damage. So much utility coming his way. And Emanek finding some good form with the AWP up against the Eco Pistols.
Yep, that's something to work with for a bit of confidence coming up. And yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for Nexa, to be honest. He's close to He's seeing everyone, but the flash means he basically has to give up on it for a split second, actually, as you see there. He got so much damage, I think it was a dink before he got taken down. In the end, got one with the USP as well. Emanek helping out. Gals keep him alive, so, you know, he won't mind too much about that at all. It's not about the kills, it's about keeping as many players alive as possible on that CT side. And as it is, that makes it 5-1 to G2. So, then we'll go for a boost and try and get a pick with the AWP. But some aggression toward underpass, perhaps, for G2, and some positioning toward middle could be a change-up that FIEND aren't expecting.
Jeez, G2 just constantly taking so much map territory, and I'm not sure if it's FIEND getting some nerves. It just feels as if they're very cautious on this T side. They're not engaging in a lot of early fights. They're not putting pressure on, and it's just allowing G2 to have a triple stack in mid that they've got no idea about.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's a rare sort of situation where usually you know when a CT cell has taken middle, you know, with flashes, maybe a deep smoke toward the top of middle, behind the boxes, a Molotov as well. But in this situation, I mean, they have no idea. They have no information where G2 currently reside. And, you know, if they grouped up 5 toward A or 5 toward B, perhaps they could make it work considering this mid stack is so heavy. But they don't know that, of course. They don't have the X-ray, of course. We know everything. They don't. And now they're going to walk into it. Hunter on the defense. Well, he'll be helped out by Nico, but there's a good trade from Han. That could be a way back in.
Bubble even catching Hunter completely overextending. Jax does deal with a lurk kill out into the apartment itself, so it brings it back to a 3 versus 3. That bomb looking to go back into ramp, and Bubble being able to get himself into window.
Well, Emanek look for it. Oh, he does, and he headshots him as well to boot. That is dirty. 400 damage. Overkill. Looks like he might try and be stopped. Okay, I would love to see that kill from Emanek's POV. Looks like he just spun on a dime there and caught Dreamer absolutely with his pants down. The spray has whiffed a little bit, and they take complete advantage of it. Emanek has shown up in Mirage, and now, unfortunately, it's basically down to Han to save on 4 HP. I wonder what that looked like from Emanek's POV. That looked like a very fast turn in the split second. And now, unfortunately, for Han, all he has to do is wait.
And typically on T side for FIEND, I actually really enjoy watching Dreamer a lot of the time. He's the lurkout in Palace, and he just gets some really good timings. He's able to read the game very well of when to attack and when to actually lurk out. And in that one right there, you've got all of the mid display. Bubble gets caught off. Dreamer goes, right, there's my timing. I'm going to be able to catch the AWP off in jungle. And the spin around comes in. What a fantastic shot in from Emanek. G2 up to 6. FIEND, oh, geez, this is looking rough. They've got to really get something going because they have not found a lot of success on their map pick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was pretty amazing, isn't it, from like the Dreamer spamming away toward Emanek. I mean, the fact that Emanek wasn't even looking at Palace and then got the kill, well, it seemed like he still wasn't looking at Palace. It's pretty insane. And that is, yeah, Jax can just go hunting through the smoke, catch his red star. He'll be like, how on earth have I just died there? How is Dreamer still alive and I'm dead? That is just rude. And unfortunately, it will mean that he will get taken down straight away. But still, 4v4, the trade's instant. Jax has done his job, goes 1 for 1. 7 kills in the game already for him, even with Emanek right now. And now, FIEND maybe have a chance to group up with at least a pick to work with.
G2 just even pressing the issue, going quite aggressive, getting the rifle set up to back up the AWP, and Dreamer actually does turn it into a multi-frag. They don't know about Amanek and just resmoke. That just allows Dreamer to play as much time as possible, just draw more attention over.
And that's a really important one as well. I mean, I like the idea from G2. You know, I mean, you've already got a 6-1 lead. It's maybe worth changing something up and going for something. And Nico, he could have a chance here. He just peeks completely dry from window. Maybe they won't be expecting the timing on this pick. Hunt is looking toward the connector. Now all of them are looking toward the connector. They'll creep their way up. 3 players in that position, and now Nexa will work out for 1. Can he do any more? Has an incendiary to put down to force them away, and now Nico can be activated. He's behind 1. He'll catch the AWP player, and look at the damage done to Victor. He's down to 12. He'll be caught by Nexa, and what a position it looked like for Fiend. It's just been absolutely cancelled immediately. Dreamer does have a flank, but there's only 13 seconds on the round. He gets the first toward Nico, but there should be no time to get onto the site, and even Nexa will just swing one anyway and punish him. Big 3k for Nexa, and that is 7-1, the good old-fashioned Counter-Strike scoreline.
And so far, it's just been Fiend outclassed here on Mirage. We see Dreamer getting a couple of really important kills in that 4v3 advantage, and then just notice the crossfire. Nexa being able to take a pick, hides, put that incendiary down, just waste time, play out from default, allow Nico to drop down, the sound cues not being heard of him getting into that bottom composition, and between the two of them, so much damage comes in. Fiend really having a difficult time, and this is not looking like the same Fiend we saw against FaZe.
Absolutely not. I mean, I think G2 have done their homework. They realise the setups and maybe the strategies that worked against FaZe is basically completely anti-stratting them right now. Maybe not something that has totally been done on purpose, but at the moment, this is not a Fiend game at all like it was against FaZe. 16-6 that victory was up against FaZe, but at this point, nothing much to work with. Nexa will wait for that smoke to fade a little bit, and he will catch Dreamer on the edge of it. Victor's yet to get off the board for Fiend in this game, and that shows what a rough start it's been for them. 3v5 on the pistols. The economy is not a problem here for G2. Basically, it's all down to Fiend to hit some ridiculous headshots, and that looks unlikely.
Yeah, just notice how passive G2 are now that they've got a 5-on-3. They don't need to take aggressive duels. You've got Amanek playing deep out in CT spawn. You've got another rotator of Nico in from jungle. Really, there's a chance that this bomb can go down with how defensive this is being held.
True, but when you got Amanek with the AWP towards CT and Nico on top of stairs, he'll easily get that trade as well. Bit of a miss from Amanek, but it's not going to matter. That activates Nexa, and that will be 8-1. It's a very easy CT half for G2 so far. It's basically down to Fiend to try something, and I feel like, you know, Dweck, we saw Nuke, they were quite slow. It worked, sure, quite a lot. I mean, 12 rounds is nothing to sniff, to, you know, turn your nose up at.
Yeah.
But I feel like we need to see a few fast things come through here. They need to change something up. They need to do something to put G2 off.
Yeah, Victor, the entry fragger on this Fiend side, 0-9, really not finding a lot of success at all. And you could say the same for a lot of these individuals. Some of the star players that we know of on Mirage really just aren't showing up. And even for G2, they've got a decent crossfire. Nexa playing under Balk, Nico in from Sandwich, and Fiend just going back to basics, going for the set piece.
Yeah, and really, I mean, I don't blame them. It's one of the only things that has really worked for them so far. And at the moment, Nico, he could really go unaccounted for in Sandwich. There's one, but a team number as well from Bubble, which doesn't help out, and he gets a second as well. Nico, easy stuff from him. There's Nexa taking Dreamer as well. It's just going to be a complete wipeout. I haven't even made it out of a ramp, and that's when you know things are not working for you. It's like a pug, basically. Your teammates aren't running out of Halo because they can't. And once again, they're forced away. Han in a 1 versus 4, I believe, total. He's got the first. But now with 3 more players left to find, he has to run off toward B. At the moment, it is the right call. But unfortunately, with the bomb in G2's possession, it should be basically impossible to get the timing right on this one. Surely they'll be wary of a flank sooner or later.
And with G2, there would have been a lot of homework coming in. You've got Malik as their coach, Swanee as their data analyst, a guy that had experience on Liquid and SK, MIPR, NRG, some big name tier 1 oppositions. And it does show the preparation that they have done coming into Mirage. Have a look at that round just from the radar alone. They've got 3 on A before that set piece even comes in. Before we've even seen Util over the top, they are rotating a 4th player into CT spawn. They know exactly what is going on that round.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's sort of, it is basically, like a regular game right now. Like, it's not even like it's an incredibly high tier game because it's just basic stuff. I mean, it's obvious, really, for G2. Like, as you say, it's completely clear as day what Fiend are doing. They're struggling for rounds. You go back to basics to try and make something happen. And when you have so many CTs on the A side, it's just nothing you can do. And you've hit the nail on the head there when you say that G2 are basically reading everything that they are doing at the moment. It's not looking good. Well, this is basically down to Nico, these first couple of frags as well. Very clean indeed. Helped out by Nexa. In the end, only 2 in response. And it won't matter. Damage to the economy doesn't mean anything at this stage for the CT side. We've got Jax on, 13.9. Nexa on 10. Amanek on 10. It's only Nico really lagging a bit behind. And it doesn't really matter because he's got 13 kills anyway.
Yeah, G2 just even further pouncy here on the second map than they were in the first. It felt comfortable at times for them on Nuke. Right here on Mirage, it feels even further so. Everyone being able to perform, and I'm loving Amanek on this AWP, finding some consistency. We're seeing Nexa and Nico again having a grand performance like they did out on that first map, and for Jax and Hunter, they're just sort of the supporting staff, aren't they? They're not exactly needed in this one, because really, those 3 are the ones doing all the heavy lifting.
That can be the best thing, though, can't it? I mean, if you've got teammates just going above and beyond and you don't need to be called into action, that's when you know it's going to be an easy map for you. And we have a buy here from Fiend, and look at it. It's rough. All they need to really here in this situation is headshots. They've got limited utility, a total of 2 smokes, 1 Molotov, 1 flash. Dreamer doesn't even have helmet. So this is a rough situation for them completely. Han, of course, does have his AWP still, but yeah, they need rounds. Of course, 9-6 is still possible, but it would be the recovery of the century if they could make that happen.
Yeah, Fiend, they're just desperate for anything, aren't they? A man advantage, a gap in the defense, whatever it may be, and Nico just at the top of the bottom con smoke, strikes on the first, no one's even there to get a pick back. Han is still too slow to get into position.
Yeah, Nico can just have time to reload behind connector as well, and there's the information. The shoulder pick will find it out, but he has a plate in towards short. Han absolutely destroys Jax, but Hunter, on exactly the same tick of the round, will just trade it immediately. And now, what does it force Fiend to do? There's Amanek from the A site again, catching Victor towards short. Still no kills for Victor. 0-11, that's a painful one. And now Hunter is in a great position to stop these final 2 remaining Fiend players from making it to the B site. Will Red Star check it? He's checking everything it looks like, but will he check Van? No, he doesn't. Easy kill for Hunter. And now it's all down to Dreamer. Has the bomb on his back, but I think Hunter knows he's around this position. There's the information, and Hunter will take him down. Finally, he's called into action. It can be a life of a B anchor sometimes, but he got the kills and got them comfortably.
Definitely the cores are different this time around, but if anyone remembers the last time Bubble and Victor had a really deep run, you look back at that WESG 2018 event where they beat MIBR on LAN, they beat G2, and in that lineup you had both Bubble and Victor. On the other side, you only had Jax that's still competing there today. They went on to win the entire event, being able to beat out AGO, and it does show that at times the Bulgarians have done okay in some of the high-tier competition, and when pressure matters the most, this is the game that really could push them into the major. And on their map pick, they've just been outclassed completely. Victor still yet to get a pickup on this T side, and look, they're trying, right? We're seeing the variation, we're seeing the tactical timeouts. It just feels as if whatever they are bringing, it's just not enough.
Yeah, completely agreed. And Amanek could even get a timing shot here toward middle if he goes for it. It's just pistols for Fiend on this one. And what will they be able to do with it? Bubble's really close toward connector, so that could actually hold something off. Nexa is still here with the smoke. And he's just shoulder peeking the ramp position, waiting for a bit of information. Dreamer is toward the palace, but look at that. Nico's even got a crossfire to help out with it. Bubble's made his way all the way to here, though. Murder hole has not been checked, but Amanek will go back looking for it, and there's the information. They now know that jungle is open, and they'll have to fall back off of that little ramp hold.
Nexa with the re-smoke out to ramp means that even for Fiend catching that timing, there's no way that it can explode forward. Bubble, for a moment there, you think like he's got the play. He's trying to sneak into market, get into the B site, and then Hunter's there.
That's just rude, isn't it? I mean, if anything could go wrong for Fiend, it's going wrong at the moment. It's unfortunate for them. They've had a great performance, of course, in this entire event, but at the moment, I think they are slightly showing that You know, G2, they are a better team, and they are a better team for a reason as well. It's down to just Red Star, Dreamer, Han, and Victor to try and make their way in toward the B site. Jax is here, and Nico will even catch Dreamer going on a little bit of a lurk toward Palace. Hunters toward the market position. Jax is a ridiculous off angle. He'll catch Victor, looking for a second. The spray transfer is actually really nice, but Hunter gets an immediate lineup with both headshots. Not even a wall bang, not even through two players. It's basically 2 bullets immediately, get the 2 kills. And that makes it 11-1, Wonderegg. That's just a rollover.
Yeah, completely. Being able to handle that well. I like the space that gets taken from Bubble. You can see the idea of a play being made, trying to sneak in the defense, try and find a way to have that backstab in. And Hunter and Jax just working off one another, trying to keep as many of those AKs in as play. 11 on the board for G2, 11 in a row for the international squad. And FIEND, it's funny, right? They didn't win a single pistol round or anti-force buy in the last map of Nuke. As soon as they win their first pistol on their map pick, they can't follow up even with another round after that.
The only round they won is the pistol. You're absolutely right. I mean, goodness me, that's a stat and a half, but unfortunately, it's not a stat that FIEND will want to ever look at again in their entire lives. Amanek now defending toward Ticket. Has a good chance to get these couple of frags. Actually, no, he does catch Nico. First opening pick, make that 2 that FIEND have basically had in this entire map so far. There are now some progress to make toward the A site. Amanek towards CT, looking for a wallbang perhaps, but he's getting spammed down. Han has taken Hunter in the meantime, and this could finally be a second round. Amanek isn't connecting his shots, so honestly, even with the money available, it's 14.9 on Amanek for goodness sake. It's probably a save.
Yeah, that was really well played. Honestly, one of the first times we've seen Dreamer really find some impact from that Palace position. Just catches Nico off guard, and from there, everything just starts going right. Bubble's able to come up from connector quite quickly. Victor's got an idea that Nex is playing quite up close and personal on the other side of that smoke and ramp, and between them, everyone starts finding picks. The AWP even catches out one of the rotates of Hunter from the B site.
Yeah.
The FIEND get their seconds. It just came down to working the default, working the picks.
Yeah, absolutely. And a funny thing I will pick up on is right now on our A stream, which is Astralis versus ENCE right now. ENCE won the first map 16-4 against Astralis on Astralis' map pick of Nuke.
Really?
And now they are winning quite significantly, I'll put it that way, on map 2.
ENCE.
It's actually a very similar, it's actually a very similar scoreline. So ENCE right now are absolutely rolling Astralis. Perhaps some revenge, at least for the organisation, for that major final a couple of years ago. That is an insane result, bordering on completion over on the main stream right now. But right now we have a round coming in for G2 versus FIEND, and FIEND need a couple more to at least make the second half possible.
Nico just swinging on the contact, and for Victor, just trying to get out to the top mid boxes and just getting the flashes high over the top, getting the CTs to peak with it. Hard expecting another over-aggressive fight, which shouldn't really come in. And for FIEND, they're going to start taking back some of this mid control. They've already lost the first pick, though.
Yeah, Nico once again getting away with an opening pick. So cheeky. He's 16-7 so far in this game. And I mean, look at Amanek. He's only died twice in this game, and we're in round 14. I mean, that just shows that, one, he's got the kills when he's basically been needing to get them, and he's been saving, and he hasn't even been punished for any mistakes. So, yeah, you can tell it's not the greatest situation for FIEND, basically purely down to the scoreline. Nico looking for more, but he actually will get caught off by Bubble this time. So it could be something for them to work with. And we go toward B, but Hunter has this dirty advanced off angle.
It all comes down to the read now, and they've got 3 players up on this B side for G2. They know exactly what's coming in. They have no idea about Hunter's position. Nexa gets involved. Jax does too. Everyone finding picks on that B side defensive. And for FIEND, just when you get a pick back, you think, right, we're going to split our way into the B side. You're running into so many players.
It's horrible, isn't it? It's actually horrible. And I mean, I don't want to bring it up, but I tell you what, I'm going to bring it up one more time. Victor, 0-13.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
He's such a class player as well, Travis. He really is. I'm a big Victor fan, and today it's just not him, is it? He's having a tough time, and that's one of the performances you do get every now and then where you can't show up at all. And for FIEND, they'd love him to do so. Yeah,
it's a shame. It is a shame, but, everyone has those off games. You can't, beat up on him too much about it. It is what it is at the end of the day. You're playing against G2, for goodness sake. They are the 3rd-ranked team in the world for a reason. And FIEND, they've had some ridiculous results, but still, you can't expect everything to go your way all the time. And once again, they have a bit of damage early on, at least to work with, do FIEND, as they leg Nico in window, but They have at least a chance. They've got grouped up 2 players toward Palace this time. That could be a way back in with the player and connector as well.
Oh, timing's everything, and Nico, even on low HP, deals with Bubble. He's still alive, turning away from the flash, and Amanek supports him onto Red Star. Now Victor's trying to see if he can make some sort of play out from the top of Con. Han's down there on the short side, and Nico's thinking about making that aggressive move forward. He even catches him off. Han's the last one left, and he misses the easiest shot of his life. The NWP not finding anything. They're starting to hunt through. 13-2 coming in for G2. Ground so close to their liking to go into the second half to get the 2-0 victory after this.
G2 Esports. They've got 2 in their name, but unfortunately FIEND only have 2 rounds. And it's a 13-2 lead for the G2 roster. It is absolute run over so far against the FIEND side, who need to win this best of 3 to guarantee qualification for the major. They'll still have 1 chance tomorrow, I believe. But at the moment, G2 are very much heading toward a quick 2-0, and now we're alive into the second pistol. I'm Travis alongside Dweg. Let's just get this started, and let's get this game basically done.
Dreamer just not really being able to spot a massive amount. Victor playing out from CT, just hoping for an early contact. Just gets domed in by that P250. Dreamer hoping for some sort of contact in. Bubble not finding anything either. And these Glocks are just doing so much damage. Dreamer, the last one left, does get one pick. So there's some level of success and positivity when it comes to this pistol round. But my goodness, they've been completely wrecked over of that A site. They're even going hunting. They want to try and drop this. Is on 1 HP. How many more kills do you reckon he can find, Trav?
It's just 2.
None?
Still getting 1 on 1 HP is a pretty decent success. Either way, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, we're at a situation now where FIEND, you basically have to force. I mean, there's no point saving and playing for a 15. Like, just buy here. There's no reason to go to the next round with nothing. Victor, I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it. I'm moving on. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I hope he gets a kill. God bless him, because I feel like he might join a very unfortunate group of players to not get a kill in an official, and unless he gets one on this MP9 in the next couple of rounds. GT 14-2, 3 rifles and 2 MAC-10s to try and clean up these 4 deagles and MP9.
Anything but the 0-17 keto. No one wants that at all. And for G2, they know what they want. They want a couple more rounds, and that's all it's going to take. Hunter down at this underpass position, just trying to lurk forward. FIEND not really having that many eyes down in this mid position. You've got Dreamer playing up in ladder and that jiggle peeker of Bubble to the top of Con. So far, it's been very silent from G2.
Yeah, very silent indeed, and they have no reason to do anything special with it, to be honest. I mean, it's a round where you want to do something, you know, get some progress on the map at least, but you know, at 14-2, you can afford to take it slow and just feel out the map with a minute on the clock. No need to rush anything. It's worked so far. Don't change anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Red Star towards short with the deagle. Take a warning shot as he's flashed off the angle. But they are going to try and take it a little bit quicker now. 4 players up towards short. Next is about to put some pressure on. This is going to be a tough one for FIEND.
Even Red Star's got so much information with those sound cues, hasn't really been able to relay the rotations over, and now being spotted in from market, they're just waiting for a mistake. This bomb is taking quite a while to actually get planted.
Hunter will get the first toward Dreamer. It will eventually go down, as you say. And now it basically gives FIEND a choice. Do you just throw these pistols in, or do you save and play for overtime at 15-2? I think that's what they're going to do. Oh, it's painful. I think probably the most painful thing in Counter-Strike is having to save when you're 14 of 2 behind. Oh, goodness. It's horrible. But still, at the same time, we have to say, you know, FIEND are here for a reason. They've won some incredible games in this tournament so far. And they will have a chance tomorrow. I believe they would play Copenhagen Flames. And that one game, that one best of 3, would decide who makes the major. So a huge day tomorrow for both those 2 teams. And now G2, we all know they're now just 1 round away from getting through to the next stage of this 5th-8th playoff bracket. And that means they're 1 round away from confirming FaZe's spot in the PGL Stockholm Major.
Yeah, for any of the viewers that just weren't able to see FIEND earlier in the tournament, this is almost just like a complete role reversal, isn't it? We saw that they were 0-2 down against NIP and Skade, came back by beating Fnatic, beating Double Pony, beating FaZe in a really one-sided affair on Mirage, went into the game against Astralis and even kept that somewhat close and competitive. And this time around, though, it has been a slapping on their map pick of Mirage. And yeah, you're right about FaZe and you're right about G2. Dreamer wants to try and get it the other way, though. He gets the opening pick onto Nexa.
That is something to work with. Bubble is close to the smoke, and it might be an advantage for the MP9 up against the AK. Hunter is close up, but if he walks close, he should be spotted as this smoke fades. Should be easy for Hunter. There's one. Will Victor trade it? No, he won't. Oh, Victor. It's Norton 16, and now it's all down to Red Star. Have we just witnessed a bit of history? Unfortunately, I think we have for Victor. Hunter will finish it off. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, FaZe Clan have qualified for the PGL Stockholm Major. And G2 will beat FIEND in 2-0 fashion, as we kind of expected in the end.